Good morning, everyone. This is your host, Christopher Michael Curtis Bowen, on this morning edition of the Christopher Bowen Show. Just gonna let this music get going. We'll get started with the day. It is the 11th of September. And life is So, obviously, I don't have, I recently, not that it really matters, but I recently fired a lot of anchormen. No, not a lot of anchormen, but like a handful of anchormen, and then the 300 and the 600. So I didn't read the news post, the Era of Light posts that were posted. So I'm going to talk about that after this music. So we're just going to kind of let the music play, and then we'll get into some of the joy about just life cycles and the joyness of that, of what could be present in the life cycles. Hello. So, the thing is that's really big, and probably the biggest thing ever is it was that final quote on that very long news article that was on Air of Light. That's about the cabal and the black nobility family and the Rothschilds, etc., the factions of the families, all their names. That was on the post. And Era of Light, and it was in a way, it was just really informative, and in a special way, it was a wake-up call. But more importantly, what it meant to me is what it meant, And it's kind of the thing, Let's just be basic here, just basic standard level excellence and standard level freedom and standard level glory. So, let's just say we stand together since 2001. That's just a basic basic simple conquering of evil. Basic simple conquering of evil. By saying, if we stand together, the cabal will fall. So, when the cabal fall, we just need to stand all together. You know what I mean by I say the word a lot. I really just realized it's a filler word. But anyway, we need to believe in the quote. I mean, that's the only thing I can say. I can't force people to know about the cabal enslavement. I can't force people to know about the thousands and thousands of years, like Carr talked about, of darkness on the planet, light and darkness, which is actually what I was communicating, which is awesome. That in a way, which is very perfect, actually spot on translation, which I love Kara for. But like, she said love, love, love instead of love, dark love, or not consistent love. Like everything is love, love, love. Entering love cycles, entering love, light, energy, and creating more light. And that's kind of what, in a way, that's kind of what yesterday was all about. Just like the light. The light. It's all about the light. It was, the light winning, the light charging, the light victory, the light warriors and light workers coming together and cooperating in their own unique way, and also the rise of the individual creator, the rise of the individual in this renaissance, is increasing, and it's a really big deal, and it's really exciting, even though my voice is monotone. There's some other really big news too. Oh, so the dream, of course. Okay, so yeah, Immortal Store opens, today's Wednesday. Immortal Store opens at the normal time at 5. What was I gonna say? Oh, so I usually, just for funsies, just so I can, I don't know, but so I can be like a more, I guess, effective, for lack of a better word, clerk in the Immortal Store. I seem to have dreams, or at least the past 2 mornings. I seem to have dreams. Well, yesterday was the first day that the Immortal Store was open for 25 hours, but I seem to have dreams that are in the Immortal Store, about the Immortal Store. And this morning I had a dream that I was on a plane. It was completely packed. And, actually, before I say that, I'm going to explain my little daydream yesterday. So there was a plane in the sky. It's going to make a lot of sense when I say this, the next example. And there's really just one little example. It's not that big, but it's a form of individual creatorship and stuff like that. So, like, I was fantasizing, like, that I could just materialize on top of a plane, like, as it's flying in the sky, and the planes are going towards the west, towards the ocean. And it's like, you can see the planes from where I am. And so, like, I would just imagine me, and maybe just, like, remote viewing and, like, bilocating, but I would imagine that I'd be on top of the plane, just, like, standing on top of the plane, and then I'd just, like, then I'd kind of, like, do flips and stuff all the way to the tail of the plane, and then I'd do a flip off the tail, and then I, would just free fall. And feel the weightlessness and the freeness and the peace of that feeling, and just rest in that, and just nestle in that amazing sort of blissful feeling of free falling. And then I just, like, landed on the ground in a super cool way, like on my feet and one hand, with, like, one hand in the air kind of thing, or, like, land on 2 feet and one, like, on the knuckles of, like, the right hand or something like that. So that's what I did, and it's, like, super fast, super quick, super sudden, but super badass. And so that was, like, my imagination, like, late afternoon yesterday. And then so I have a dream. Like, I realized that people follow me no matter what. So I had a dream. Well, this is my speculation. Speculation is a strong word. This is my assumption. This is my own, like, dream advice, kind of to myself and to whoever's listening. Because, what, I'm just saying law of attraction, thoughts attract like thoughts, or like emotions, etc. So, like, I was thinking, like, that experience actually had to happen, because it was really, really actually peaceful, and I felt a deep inner peace, just being free and doing whatever I want. It kind of, in a way, just being free as, free fall through the sky, because we should be able to do what we want anyway, because we can have, like, technology and energy devices, like 0-point energy that you can wear on, like, your ankles and your wrists to, like, fly around, and I fantasize about that a lot. Or anti-gravity devices on the wrists and the ankles so you can fly, and I think that would be really fun. But anyway, back to the dream. So, like, the dream is about, like, we're all on a plane, and the plane is packed, and out of nowhere the plane just starts to go into free fall, and it like pitches back and does like a backflip, and then kind of rights itself again, and then starts kind of, I don't remember exactly how it was falling, but I remember like it was in free fall, and I think we started barrel rolling to the left, and we slowly started going towards the ground and falling out of the sky. We're probably, I mean, you could see the ground, but we're still pretty high in the sky. But no one's like freaking out, no one's screaming or anything like that, no one's saying anything, and it's like a really surreal roller coaster, because I I was just kind of enjoying the experience, and then I look to the left and say, like, we're probably, and then I stop there, and like, I probably shouldn't, like, in my mind, I'm like, I probably shouldn't say anything about what's going on, but, like, after about 45 seconds, after about 45 seconds, which seems like a very long time, I was just like, well, I see the ground, we're definitely going fast towards the ground, I mean, incredibly fast, it's rapidly approaching, so I'm like, I might as well just wake up. So I just woke up from the dream, and I was just like, dang, I mean, I was just fantasizing about a super great feeling of free falling, and then I have a dream about that same sensation. I can feel the sensation too. It feels really good. Like, it felt like a roller coaster, I'm not gonna lie, but, it was just trippy, because, I had that dream this morning, and as you guys know, like, for at least the past, like, month or 2 months, I've been in full-on dream mode. Like, just actually, nobody probably knows. But I've been just, like, learning myself, teaching myself, learning about myself, learning about my inner self, and really staying at peace with my inner self. By learning what I could do with dreams. And I write out my dreams, and my dreams seem really lucid and real to me. And that's just, like, what I've been involved in, like, for myself, for my body, for my individual self, for my whole self. Like, I've just been involved in writing a bunch of dreams, trying to write the type of abilities that I have in dreams, and what I remember, and how it impacts me, and what it means to me, and how I can seem to tap into this energy of dreams, like, whenever I want. Like, even when I am awake, I sense that everything around me is real, but it's just not the same reality, or not the same realness and palpability that dreams have. But it's similar, It's like, it's spirit and matter, and, like, you can relate to either one. I mean, you could say the same things you say in dreams in real life, which is what I was super obsessed with, or which is what I'm super obsessed with, which is what I'm really big on. And I'm getting more and more confident. Like, yesterday, forget it, I won't talk about yesterday. But, like, yesterday, it was just really cool. I had abilities. I have abilities, and then I just learned a bunch of different techniques just to, exist in the field of love and just the vibration of love, which people do anyway, and beings do anyway, but it's just, believing in the dream states and stuff that I wrote in the dream, the lucid dreaming and the dream abilities, and I named it some monkey things, level dreaming, dream something, I forget what it was called, but I wrote it down, and so, like, I just wanted to, like, it's fun because it's a multidimensional thing, and, anybody can really communicate with anybody in dreams, and it's a really, like, open, fifth-dimensional world, and, like, the more fifth-dimensional it is, like, the more fun it is, It's interesting, because, like, I want it to be a thing, but, I'm just entering into the bravery of it, like, I'm literally saying that, like, well, it's funny because I actually said it first before I actually started believing it. But I said, like, we should start, like, Lightseed should have dreams as, like, a form of enterprise. Like, dreams are an enterprise. And so, like, that was my thing first, like, week. Right? It was first week of the summer, somewhere in mid-June. I was just like, I think dreams should be an enterprise. And so I said that and, kind of practiced it. But then at a certain point, I think when I started having dreams that, like, were lucid and I could actually stay awake in my dreams and I could actually stay conscious and stuff, like, when that started happening, then I started believing that, dreams could be a real thing, but it wasn't at all what I expected, It wasn't going along the lines of, this is the way it is. It was actually, I discovered more about what dreams mean to me and the abilities that I have and the feelings that I have and the thoughts that I have about the dreams and just how much fun they are to me. Like, before I even talk about anybody else and their experience with the dreams. And what I realized is also the therapeutic nature of it. There's so many things that are so special about these dreams, about this dream enterprise. And it heals and it cures all the answers. And I practiced it. And, I was so bold at a certain point. I said I experiment. Like, in my broadcast, I said I straight up experiment. But, I did it. Like, I literally dreamed for the bliss mode. Like, I just wake up in the dream and then I wake up in the dream. I wake up in the morning, like, from the dream, from sleep or whatever, and I enter the world and I enter reality as if that dream is something that's in reality. That's something I can reach, that high level of vibration and all that high energy stuff. I'm living in a dream world. I'm, like, living in it. And I mean that not, like, jokingly, like, oh, I'm living in a dream world. Like everything's a fantasy. But, like, at the height of truth and faith and love and the height of excellence. That, like, I believe in the dreams. And where's it going with that? So my dreams started getting more and more intense because I would write about it and I started believing more into them, and then I just have more faith and more courage than I did yesterday. So I couldn't necessarily I couldn't not have that courage because I had that courage, and to have that courage was really invigorating. So I keep gaining courage. I keep having more faith in my dreams, and I just completely get sort of, immersed in my dreams for days and weeks on end, and then I'd enter into reality with little things that I learned from my dreams, attracting actual reality from my dreams into my life, just as like a fifth dimensional human kind of thing, or just like as the embodiment of love where compassion just flows through me. And I just, made those dreams. I just believed in myself, and I believed in my character, and I believed in my abilities, and I made dreams. I made the dream states, and I made the dream. And when I mean dream states, I just mean not like actual state, like an actual California or Colorado or Canada. I mean Canada. Or Massachusetts, or like I don't mean like an actual dream state, like where the whole state is dreaming and then it becomes a dream state. And even though that would be kind of weird and kind of fun, but because we need to make anyway, we need to provide more, create more liberty anyway. Anyway, so like my dreams in the last few days, in the last few weeks, but especially the last few days, of course, have been intensifying, and I'm just getting more courage in my manifestation power. And I'm not trying to, like, hold back or hide my power from anyone. I'm trying to discover more about myself. Like, I'm not trying to hold back that, like, I have incredible imagination speed to formulate and create and stuff like that. I have an incredible imagination speed. And, And I believe it, I mean, it's just a thing. Like, it's a skill that I have. It's an incredible imagination speed. And I'm just so tired, dude. I'm exhausted. So, it's just like a state of being, like a dream being state, like just being in a dream state sort of thing. I encourage it, and that's what's been happening in the last few days, is I've been messing around a lot with how dreams, like when we have dreams, we can actually use our dreams to interact with and sort of live in the high vibrations all around the cabal, Like yesterday was all about the joy of creativity. And what was amazing is that, just with, I'm so tired and my voice is so monotone. Anyway, I gotta keep going. Bear with me, guys. It's just the irony with the cabal in general, just how obsessed I am with defeating the cabal and getting rid of the cabal and not having the cabal. And just, I say that over and over. I just say that, like, oh, we gotta get rid of the cabal. We gotta overpower the cabal. We are all working together. Our only enemy is the cabal. And if we just realize that, then we could all unite and not bicker with one another. And just, actually, get rid of the cabal. Because we aren't enemies. None of us are enemies to one another. Like, we really are not. None of us are enemies. But when it comes to love, I expect perfection. Because love is the emanation of all that is. And regardless, like, if you do believe in love or don't believe in love, like, there are people on this planet that know everything about you. Like, everything. They know everything about you. And they have all this information on you. And they'll feed you information your entire life. And it's an indoctrination program that, this technology and these evil cabal have, that they can just know everything about you. And, I want to know, or wanted to know, which is why I don't care anymore. Which is a big deal, actually. I should say I care. But yesterday, and I wanted to say that it was the second day after Manifest from the Sky of, the possibility of being able to love the entire world without having to, say I control them and enslave them through this AI corporate system that spies and is surveillance. And, like, I don't have to love the entire world with that system. I proved that to myself yesterday. So no one but me knows that. So I knew that today as I woke up this morning, and I noticed that people are following me because I had the dream. And this is what I'm saying, I get courage because I say people are following me because people are in my dream, because people are in my on the plane that I dreamt of this morning. So that's the train of thought that I'm going on. Courage. So courage with all of us, plus the courage that we have for going against the cabal and for being free from the cabal. That's the type of courage that I have, that I wish to utilize. And there's obviously a huge amount of courage, and it's all about courage, That's all that matters. So I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I really don't want to continue this broadcast. But there's so much to be done. Well, actually, there isn't really anything that needs to be done. But there's just so much creativity that can take place. And I would say that I am. But I would continue to say that I support the leadership of just the new age in America, and I'm so tired. I just support this information about discovering about the cabal. That's cool because I just it's not really a thing that's distant to me anymore. But, like, I'm just really close to the whales and the cetaceans and the dolphins and just the those sentient, really large life forms. Like, I would fantasize about laying on the belly of of a blue whale, just deep in the water, and just being really close and really safe and secure. And I feel that love as I say it. It's so true. Like, I love all the cetaceans from Sirius B. I love you. I love how we're all connected to the stars. I love the peace that we share. That is there. That is in the oceans and in the waters. And there's sacred places in the waters. And there's multiple dimensions in the waters. And I just feel the love from the orcas, as we call them, from the pods, from those families. They're our family. They're us. And I can, I would imagine either swimming next to them or actually being them inside their minds as they swim together, gliding through the water, soaring, flying, sailing through the water, like the majestic beasts, or the majestic creatures, the majestic beings that we are. And I love them. I love you. There's nothing wrong with saying I love you. There's nothing wrong with expressing love to the whales. There's nothing wrong with expressing love to dolphins and to, animals and ocean life. There's nothing wrong with that. And we might as well do that anyway. I don't want to talk about, how we're transitioning out of an age where we weren't necessarily one with all life forms in life. I just kind of want to just jump straight into the fact that, we're one with all of life. And it is true. We're in tune with the trees and the forests and the animals, and we all, play a part in the crystal kingdom, the animal kingdom, the human kingdom, Gaia's kingdom, the plant kingdom, the insect kingdom, and the collectives, the Unicorn Collective, the Saturn Collective, the Sphere Being Alliance, the Earth Alliance, the headquarters of the Federation, the Federation of Light. This is us. We're all a part. Well, we're all part of it. Dude, I'm tired of saying that. We're all part of a big, whole, big, happy family. And we all get together and have fun in our multi-dimensional experience. No. What I mean to say is, we're multi-dimensional beings, and we can experience our multi-dimensional self. But I already know that, I already know that I can experience my multi-dimensional self and experience my spiritual self and experience my multidimensional self all around the world. Inner planet, outer planet, they're all aspects of us. Even throughout the galaxy and the universe and the multiverse and the cosmos, they're all aspects of us. All this love that exists throughout the universe. So the thing is, I have to already know that there's a lot of progress going on, assuming that there's progress going on with the rest of the planet. And I'm just so used to having progress based upon the progress that I think is progress. And I don't pay attention, in a way, I don't pay attention to, the advocation of indoctrination in any way. I'm going to be more specific about that. I don't think that there's only one way to do things. I don't think that college is the only form of education. I don't think the only way to go to college is you have to spend funds to go to college to get an education. I don't think colleges have everything that you could possibly learn and want to learn in colleges. And in fact, colleges purposely don't teach you things and keep things hidden. And I don't think that's fair. I know that there's... I don't really want to talk about mainstream. But I know there's a lot of things that the mainstream news and the mainstream media could say that they don't. And it's not that I'm upset with them that they don't, which is really amazing, because I think I'm really forgiving, even though I probably should be upset, because they should be talking about advanced technologies and the joy of people and the inner Earth civilizations and what's going on in the galaxy and all this stuff. They should be talking about that stuff, and they should be talking about the positive things. They should really be informing, but, in a way, they're just told what to do. And that's not... I'm just going to jump into another segue. We don't need to, consistently believe that what is in the external reality is the only thing that there is. And it's a weird thing for me to say that, because that's kind of where I am. I believe I'm so powerful, I can only believe in my internal reality and, live the rest of my life perfectly fine and totally in tune with the Creator and with Yeshi and stuff. But the thing is, I already know that, I'm able to do that. And I surprise myself sometimes, because I have, spiritual abilities within me that I didn't know I could utilize, and I didn't know that were there until that, things actually occurred, and I actually started realizing that I am the result, or that, my body moves, and that I'm the result of all of creation, sort of thing. I am the... I move, and I notice there's, a law of attraction, a response, or, life responds to life. I noticed that, so I just assume that life responds to life, which is totally normal, and I answer with love, with pure love, and with unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, and unconditional acceptance. And that's what life is all about. It's one of the things that life is all about. I think it's very... it's already been 30 minutes. I think it's very interesting that there's many different parts of just the world that we aren't taught about, many different tales and histories that we aren't educated about. And if we don't know those histories, if we don't know about the history of the planet, if we don't know about how we've been enslaved for 25 years, if we don't know about those things, if we don't know about the dark, it's just there's going to be a continual cycle. And it's funny to me, because I actually see the cycles that people go through. I actually see a cycle, or I see cycles. I see the cycles of life. And there's so much more to it. The thing is, what's not even included in the cycle of people's lives is traveling to outer space. Traveling to outer space and into the rest of the galaxy is not even on other people's minds. People don't even think about how that is a way that they could live. People don't think about that at all. And people don't think about living longer than 100 or 200 or 300 years. People don't think about living for 500 years or 1,000 years or 5,000 years. People don't think about that, So, what? Am I just going to succumb to external reality and just say, I'm only planning to live... I only plan for the next 50 years, and that's all, I plan for? Because the truth is, I really plan beyond that. Because the truth is, we do live. We do have immortality. And that's what we are. That's what the Agarthans, that's where they live at. That's their natural state of being, immortality. That's their natural state of being, immortality. And so... think about it. Let's just have fun. Someone comes up to you and say, there's no way you're going to live to be 1,000 years. No one has that technology, and no one's that strong. We're not supposed to live that long. How would that be true? What technology says that we only can live to be 50 years old? We have cars, we have houses, we have planes, we have... surgery rooms, we have ICUs, we have hospitals, we have schools, education centers, we have laboratories, and we have houses and homes and apartments and malls, and we have all that stuff. And that's all there is. We're the most advanced that we've ever been. medicine is at an all-time high, but there's no way we're going to live, more than 100 years or 200 years. And the thing is, what's actually happening that I know is truth is that the Agarthans say that we are immortal, that we have immortality. Because the truth is they live in immortality, and we all live in immortality. And that's just the basic truth. And I can get more into it. So there's already beings that live for hundreds and hundreds of years. A lot of the beings that are in Agartha, are anywhere from 200 to 500 years old to 1,000 and 2,000 years old, and they still look young, and they age. They don't, like, a lot of them look 30, 40, and they just look that way for the rest of their life, or for the rest of 1,000 years or 2,000 years or whatever. And so since we can live for so long, how else can we plan? How else can we think? How does that affect the way that we think? If we're going to live for 1,000 years, am I still going to want to do the same things that I do now? And let's just talk about this, because that's what we're going to talk about anyway. Are we still going to do the same things that we do now? Since we're going to live for at least 1,000 years, or since I'm going to live for at least 1,000 years, 2,000 years, am I going to make the same decisions that others around me make? For one, are they also going to believe that they're going to live for 1,000 years, or do they want to believe that they're not going to live for 1,000 years? And so that's the other thing. Am I going to believe by myself with the Agarthans that I'm going to live for 1,000 years, or am I going to believe, or am I going to inspire eventually the rest of the surface world that we can live for 1,000 years? Is it something that's going to happen in 500 years from now that people will believe that they live for 1,000 years? Or is it something that I just have to say every day until about 500 years from now that people can live to be 1,000? Either way, there's nothing wrong with how we're living. There's absolutely nothing wrong with how we're living. And if the only beings that think there's something wrong with how we're living is the Cabal, because the Cabal is not for humanity. The Cabal is anti-human. Even though there's some Cabal that are for Yeshi, the Cabal in general are anti-human. They're not sharing with us their technology and all of this immense wealth and power and all that stuff. And the thing is, that's the other thing. Are we going to use money to buy things from the Agarthans when they don't even use money at all? Are we going to, give them $1,000 to buy one of their spacecrafts when they would just, rather just freely, share it with us, share the technology and stuff, and share the housing? Do we have to buy one of their houses in Agartha with our money to live? Do we have to buy their food stuff with our money to live? Is that how commerce works? And the thing is, they don't use money in their society. Telos doesn't use money. Agartha doesn't use money. Shambhala doesn't use money. So, who uses money? And the thing is, if there's beings and families with trillions and trillions of dollars, they're the ones using the money. And if there's an entire civilization that doesn't require money, then who's using money? If there's an advanced civilization that doesn't need money, there's a surface population that does use money. Assuming that there's a surface population that uses money. And what is money being used for? Is it really for what we want in our lives, or is it what the Cabal want in our lives? How much money is a lot of money? Is $50 billion a lot of money? Is $200 billion a lot of money? Is $750 billion a lot of money? No. If every single person had $750 billion, I think that would be a lot of money. But the thing is, there's families with well over $10 quadrillion. So what these families can do is pretty much whatever. So, like, imagine you have $5 quadrillion. You can do whatever you want. You can buy. You can develop. You can build cities. You can develop a country. You can change infrastructure. You can build whatever you want, and nothing's going to stop you. No one's going to stop you, because that's a lot of money, and it's just one person has so much money that they can do whatever they want. Quadrillions of dollars. But the thing is, if you have a quadrillion of dollars, can you give $10 quadrillion to that advanced civilization and then expect to, trade and barter with that advanced civilization that's, inside Earth? That's a good question. And I think the answer is no. Like, they don't need money. So why would all of a sudden they decide to use money? Do they think, do you think, or like, that's a good, like, critical thinking. Do we think that they think that there's a higher spiritual level of understanding when it comes to using money? Even though there's beings with, like, the ball that has quadrillions of dollars. Quadrillions of dollars. Like, is there a job that you can, is there a career that you can get today that will allow you to get quadrillions of dollars? Is there, like, a job that says your salary will have so many zeros that you don't need to even worry about food, shelter, or water? Is there a job like that? Is there a job that says you will make so much money? No, there isn't. There isn't a job that says that you will make $1 trillion. There isn't a job that says you will make $50 trillion. You can't just enter in. You got to go through all these steps. You got to go to school. You got to get a degree. You got to get trained. You got to get hired. You got to work the same position. You got to do the jobs. You got to follow a schedule. You got to be consistent. You got to pay the bills. Got to pay for this. Got to pay for that. Got to pay for children. Got to pay for education. Got to pay for family. Got to support the family. Got to pay for vacation. Got to pay for cars. Got to pay for gas. Got to pay for all these things. And got to go to work, get more money, support yourself, get paid, get more money, support yourself, get paid, buy clothes, buy stuff, go eat, have fun, buy a boat, go sailing, take a vacation, build a family, have a family, spend more money, build more stuff, build more construction, build more buildings, have more money, have more families. And you know what? You can do all those things with... You can do all those... It's kind of a weird example, but you can do all those things with $1 billion. You can do all those things with $1 million. You can do all those things with $500,000. You can do all those things with $200,000. You can do all those things with $10. The thing is, quadrillions of dollars. I almost feel like we've had this argument before. And it's not really an argument. It just is. Like, the question is, like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do for someone, for a family, or on a planet where there's one family that has, like, $10 quadrillion? What are we going to do? What could we possibly do? And now let's be realistic. They already have corporations and companies that are bigger than countries. The corporations, the banks, are literally larger than countries. Think about that for a second. There's an entire corporation that one guy owns that's stronger, bigger, and more powerful than a country. It doesn't matter how many people. There's someone with $1 quadrillion, and I say $1 quadrillion because it's not true. They have a lot more than that. But there's these guys with $1 quadrillion that just run these corporations, and if you actually know what they're doing, you would know that they're actually trying to depopulate the planet. So we have these guys with $1 trillion that don't want people on the planet. They're spending money on eliminating people on the planet. All right, so let's keep that in mind. Let's say that again. People with quadrillions of dollars want to eliminate people on the planet. That's what they want to do. All right, so let's do the same thing. We're gonna go through life. We're gonna get jobs. We're gonna have a family, and we're gonna live in a world where there's a power structure that wants to eliminate the population, and that's gonna happen all the time. Oh wait, no, that's not only happening all the time. It's happening now, and we are actually being poisoned and being eliminated viciously. So there's these companies with the pure agenda to depopulate. That's what their job is. They want to depopulate. They want to eliminate you. They want to get rid of you. They want to enslave you, and it's an entire corporation that's meant to run your entire life and control you and be tyrannical and to kill you. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna use money to, let's say, like, oh, we're gonna pay these guys, who have trillions of dollars. We're gonna pay these guys billions of dollars, or hundreds of dollars, or thousands of dollars. We're gonna pay these guys thousands of dollars through what we think is our economy and our understanding of the economy. We're paying them money to advocate for more death, destruction, and disintegration. So, okay, let's say we're good people. So we're spending money, and let's say there's a lot of good people. Together, like $700 or $750 billion of people doing the right thing, doing the right thing at all times, and not wanting to kill people. They're obviously flourishing and building the planet. So now, do you think just because there's some good people with $750 billion that the depopulation is just going to stop today? Like, the depopulation of humanity has instantaneously stopped because there's good people who actually want to have people alive and actually like people and actually love people, and that, are, just hypothetically speaking, that actually advocate for the healing of the entire planet instead of the destruction of the planet. So what are they going to do? What are we going to do? We're going to develop some type of society and a new understanding, a new age realm mindset that we have the ability to live in a world where we're not being depopulated by these beings by the cabal who has quadrillions of dollars. And so let's just say that's the statement. Let's say that's a fact. Do we... There is at least, a group of people, or just one person, who has $750 billion, who's trying to eliminate everybody. So what are they going to spend all that money on? For example, where does the money go to? For that one bad guy, that $750 billion, for example, goes to paying the mainstream media, goes to fluoridation and chemtrails and poisoning food and poisoning the water. It goes into a stupid amount of legal control, legal power, and legal puppets to do whatever they're told by this one guy who has $750 billion. They're told what to do by this guy who has $750 billion to only, for example, report that what this guy says, the $750 billion, or like whatever they would report. Honestly, I don't even know, but whatever they would report on, like the whole goal is nonstop by this one guy who has $750 billion. He's a bad guy. His whole goal is to nonstop have control over every department in the government, and to control the government, and to control every aspect of the Americans' lives, or the world's lives. Control every aspect. To control it. What they eat, what they do, what they see. And a lot of money goes back into the AI system that they use to spy and surveil and gain all this information so that they continue to create products such as the destructive addictive products that are created in the huge pharmaceutical company, which whole goal is to continue to make a negative cycle for humanity. That's not based on healing, but based on addiction. And then we just continue that cycle of addiction over and over and over and over by putting millions and millions of dollars and spending our own money. Actually, I'm not going to get into that yet. $750 billion are spent on all these companies and that advocate for political rule, total political control, and tyranny, ultimately. Not to have any of our rights, to make sure that we don't have any of our rights. That's literally the goal, is to make sure that we don't have rights. And to continue to roll out the evil, technocratic, bureaucratic, military-industrial complex system that the cabal wishes to roll out. So, the thing is, what would someone with the group of people, or just one person, or the good people, what would a group of people do with $750 billion to override this huge corporate military-industrial complex sort of thing? And one of the first things that I think any enlightened being would do is ask for help. So we'd ask for help. Who do we ask help from? Do we ask help from each other? That was a super hilarious hypothetical question. We'd this is actually me being wise. Here's what we would do. We'd ask for help. And we'd ask for help from advanced civilizations, you know? We'd ask for help from our actual family, from our inner earth family, from our Gaian family, for example. We'd ask for help. We don't want to be depopulated, that's the truth. I mean, do we want to spend our lives dying? Is that our goal? Okay, let's just assume that we didn't ask for help. Immediately, even if we didn't or did have $750 billion, the goal is dying. Like, the goal is dying. And the goal is how to figure out not to die. How to figure out not to be in a degradative culture that's run by, in this scenario, let's say, it's just run by one guy who has $750 billion, one of the cabal who has $750 billion. Let's just start small. Let's be hypothetical. Let's just start small and say there's only one bad guy with $750 million that wants to depopulate the planet. Let's just take baby steps. Yeah. So, what do? Do we have the technology to sustain ourselves? Or do we have to use money to sustain our technology? You know? Do we have the ability to flourish, or do we still live in scarcity and are having to deal with scarcity in terms of what we can buy? Are we able to create and manufacture things quickly and instantaneously, or do we have to use the cabal system to make anything, to manufacture anything? We have to use someone else's system. Because it's not our system, it's someone else's system. So the thing is, are we going to consistently use someone else's system to run our own lives? Or are we going to create our own innovation with the $700 billion? Like, are we going to create new inventions with $750 billion that would provide more flourishment and innovation on the planet? Or are we just going to agree with depopulation? Are we going to actually believe that we can increase our life expectancy and actually believe that we can be virtuous and work together with one another? Or are we just going to agree with whatever this guy with this one bad guy with $750 billion says, whose whole goal is to depopulate and to eliminate you and to depopulate the planet? Is it the mindset of the good people with $750 billion to not live in a world where they can be free to do whatever they want, or to not live in a world where they can actually live as long as they want? You know? The thing is, the good people with $750 billion are constantly being attacked and constantly being killed, constantly being depopulated. The good people. By the one bad guy. By the one bad cabal with $750 billion that wants to depopulate the world. Because that's his whole focus, that's the whole agenda, that's what it is. It's to depopulate the world and be the reigning rulers on the planet after the depopulation. Etc., etc., Agenda 21. And so that's just a scenario. So let's be more realistic. So there's multiple families. But I still actually want to be more specific. Let's just say there's one family. So there's one family, which is true. There's one family, or just one group, one collective that has $15 quadrillion. And every penny of it is focused on depopulation and on enslavement. So it's almost like the question becomes, how do we even know? How are we informed about this? And how do we respond against it? How do we believe that we are doing the right thing? And how do we believe that we are not being depopulated? How do we know that we're not being depopulated? And most people, I would say, would need money to figure out how to be informed about how we're being depopulated. So I just say, it's best not to agree with it. I say it's best not to agree with a system that wants you depopulated. And I think it's actually best to agree with the system that wants you to be immortal. But not... See, there's also the breakaway civilization that wants to be immortal based upon, hooking up with AI that the technocrat globalist elite do. And then there's the immortality that's actually based on longevity and healthiness and eating healthy food and eating food with life force and really just sustaining our own higher vibrational energy that we're supposed to have all the time without any of these negative thoughts, without any negative thoughts. I'm not saying that there's negative thoughts in the first place, but without any negative thoughts or any negative thought forms. Oh gosh, I'm so tired. And to basically have the ability to live as a being, I don't know how to say this, to live as a being who is immortal. There's actually more freedom in that, I think, than we realize. There's freedom in being free and immortal and unlimited, as fifth dimensional beings. There's freedom in eating, like the food from Agartha and from Shambhala. It's good to want to be involved in their culture and support life and support healing, and not the degradation of life. And so that's what I'm going to talk about. So let's just tell the truth, or let's just say, even hypothetically, but there's probably more truth than not. Let's just tell the truth. Let's say, so all the good people have all the money in the world. All the money in the world is owned by good people and owned by people who have your best interests at heart now. All of a sudden, there's let's just say there's $20 quadrillion in the world, or there's $15 quadrillion in the entire world, and it's owned by people who have your best interests at heart. So you're provided food, you're provided shelter, you're provided ships, starships, you're provided advanced technology, you're provided anti-gravity, you're provided replicators, you're provided all the advanced hospitals with advanced healing, you're provided advanced healing healthcare, you're provided food and water, purified water, you're provided advanced level of meals and eating that's never been known before. You're provided new forms of communication, new forms of transportation. You're provided new forms of communication, new forms of technology that transform the way we live life and communicate. You're provided more and more abundance, and you're provided the guarantee of abundance, and you're provided the beauty of the earth. You're provided the beauty of Gaia. You're provided the planet. You're provided in food. You're provided in clothing. You're provided new types of clothing. You're provided new types of systems that have been going on. You're provided new types of leadership. You're provided new types of materials. You're provided new types of elements, new types of atoms, new types of sciences. You're provided new types of physics. You're provided new types of levels of consciousness. You're provided new levels of contacts with the rest of the planet. You're provided levels of mining operations that expand throughout the galaxy. You're provided outposts on dozens and dozens of planets. You're provided information about stargates. You're provided stargates. You're provided locations and information about stargates. You're provided... See, these are all the things that you're provided. I can go on and on. You know what? I will keep going on. You're provided new types of energy technology. You're provided the truth about traveling to different stargates through the sun portals, through different portals. You're provided truth about the portals. You're provided truth about the electromagnetic energy and the frequency of the planet. You're provided information about the types of technology that have been used for mind control and have been used for energetic imbalance. You'll be provided information about all the different types, you'll be provided information. You'll be provided information about the databases. That is every bit of information about you, about what you ate, what you do, your recordings, your videos. You're provided all the videos about you. You're provided all your information about you. You're provided all the conversations you ever had. You're provided all the pictures you ever took. You're provided all the places you ever went. You're provided all the money you've ever spent. You're provided all the information about the transactions you've ever had. You're provided the information about where you went, what you bought, what you like, what your habits are, what you're consistently interested in buying, what you've been advertised for, what you've been advocated for advertisement for, everything. You're provided the data banks that know everything about you. You're provided the surveillance systems that know everything about you and that have been surveilling in advanced ways. You're provided information about interdimensional transportation, interdimensional technology. You provided information about the different types of liberties that have been subverted previously. You're being provided information about the ways that people have been lied to, and you're providing information about the history of the planet. You're providing information about the history of the solar system. You're providing information about the history of the Lemurian cultures. You're provided information about interstellar life and intergalactic life. You're providing information about the moon. You're providing information about the LOC, the Lunar Operations Command. You're provided information about everything that went on the moon. You're provided about information about what the moon is. You're provided different types of technologies and transportation technologies to go travel throughout the different parts of the solar system in a matter of minutes. You're provided all the outposts and bases, like I already mentioned, on different planets and the different solar systems. You're provided all the information and all the alliances that exist in these civilizations, and all you get to meet or at least know about all the civilizations that have been involved in anything. The civilizations we're told about the civilizations that have been in communication with you. You're being told you'll be informed about all the civilizations that have been watching us and have been with us all this time. You'll be informed about all the civilizations that have been watching us grow. You'll be informed about all the civilizations who have been watching us eat, watching us develop, watching us ascend. You'll be informed about all the different beings in other planets that live and breathe and have their lives. You'll be informed about the different customs that different planets have. You'll be informed about the different characteristics that people have in their solar system because of the sun. You'll be informed about the different characteristics that beings have throughout the galaxy, who also had a cabal on their planet. We'll learn about, I can go on and on and on. You'll be provided information about the different types of alliances that have been working with us for eons. We'll be provided information and intel and education about our family and when I mean family, I mean like galactic family, Palladians, Syrians. We'll get to interact with the Syrians. We'll get to interact and be a part of the world, be a part of the universe. In the awareness of it, we'll be aware of the different types of energies that occur in higher vibrational energies. We'll be informed of the different types of technologies that can seize certain types of quantum energies. We'll be informed of the different types of quantum energies and the different types of quantum states. We'll be informed of the different types of technologies that have been used on the planet. We'll be informed of and be given weather technology, and we'll get to use and utilize weather technology to create however many plants we want, however many flourishing forests we want. We can create abundance in just a matter of days from the weather technology that can be utilized over fields to provide the perfect type of weather for crops and for food. You can create weather just for fun, to create a new sport with hurricanes or with tornadoes. With a new, we're gonna know about new forms of elements that can create stronger substances and new forms of clothing. We're going to be more creative with all the things that we have. Since we have $1 quadrillion and we can put it all together, be able to create more inventions, be able to create more stuff, create more tools, create more clothing, create more apparel. Create more fun little adventures with the weather. Discovering things that we can do with the electromagnetic grid, building a new firmament, building an everlasting civilization of peace, building prosperity and love and peace, having peace with the rest of the galaxy, enjoying endless and infinite amount of fun with all these beings that love us and cherish us and actually have respect for us. I can go on and on and on and on. We will have the love that we deserve in terms of just how we can treat each other with all the advanced types of technologies and all the advanced types of inventions that we have that we utilize and share with one another. We just increase renaissance. We have more schools. We have mystery schools. We develop magic. We develop new ways of thought. We develop new ways of thinking. We develop peaceful ways and peaceful practices. We develop new schools. We develop new lifestyles. We develop new customs. We develop new cultures based on Renaissanceic ideas. We build new Renaissance inventions, architecture, bathhouses, aqueducts. We build new types of roads. We build new types of travel sequences. We build rivers and valleys and mountains, and we build pools and estuaries, and we build lakes and ponds and rivers, and we build rapids, and we build amusement parks, and we build everything. We will build buildings and whatever it's called. It's the fun parts of buildings, new architectural designs, new way of living, new way of storing things, new ways of constructing buildings. We'll build new types of energy in those buildings. We'll utilize energy in a different way. We'll have fun with the water and the ocean. We'll not be using any fossil fuels. We'll be using, or we'll experience the joy and connection with crystals and with joy mirroring crystals, and we'll feel the energy with the crystals, and we'll feel and understand and learn about healing energy and crystal healing, and we'll create and mimic the advanced civilizations that are in the inner world. We'll make dome shaped homes. We'll have homes that are totally self-sufficient. I'm so tired. I'm hungry. Gosh, already. Anyway. So I'm gonna keep going. Build gravity structures and buildings in the sky. We'll build amusement parks in the sky. New forms of restaurants, new forms of food procurement, new forms of transportation, new forms of joy, new forms of anything, of interaction with life. The joy of holographic technology and holograms and holodecks. We'll be utilizing spacecraft and spaceships and going on spacecraft and spaceships and going to and from spacecraft and spaceships and going to and from motherships and spacecraft, going to and from different civilizations that are a part of this earth and going to and from different civilizations in spacecraft and utilizing the spacecraft to go into different types of dimensions. In this dimension and other dimensions, we'll travel to other dimensions, we'll travel to other worlds, we'll travel to other spiritual worlds, we'll travel to other spiritual realities. We'll discover that we don't need to use money, even though I'm still talking about money, that we can utilize money to be involved in the spiritual world and travel into other dimensions. Because, since good people are in charge, they just provide all this. Good people provide all the spacecraft and all the transportation and all the. And there's just outpouring of all this wealth or outpouring of all this technology and outpouring of all these spaceships, and all these spaceships will be in the sky and motherships will be in the sky, and there's all this creation going on. Okay, let's be more specific. All these beings that are coming here to greet us. Well, assuming that other beings are here to greet us. That's not. Maybe beings are just going to give us stuff. We're just going to sit on this planet and they'll just give us stuff. Maybe, and let's just be sarcastically hilarious here. Maybe we'll just wait around for someone to give us stuff. Maybe we'll just wait around and sit at our desks with our desk jobs, or sit at our restaurants with our restaurant jobs, or sit at our anchorman jobs with our anchorman jobs, and just say that we're just gonna do this, do what we usually do our jobs, and then someday someone's gonna come in, some alien or some extraterrestrial or some enlightened being or some avatar or some Christos being or some light being is going to walk into our store and then just give us all this energy, give us all this technology, give us all this love, give us all this technology and all this greatness and all this love. And they're just going to come to this planet and then we'll just dance in the light, right? There's just love. Anyway, so we will, because we actually will reach out to different planets. We will reach out to different star systems. We will reach out to different universes and different multiverses, and we will communicate with them. We will love them. We will say that we are here. We will expand our consciousness. We will explore the galaxy. We will explore the universe. We will travel. We will exist as love. We will be love. We will emanate that love as love emanations on the planet and throughout the solar system and throughout the cosmos. We'll travel to different places, meet new people, meet new planets, fall in love with planets, love planets, cherish planets, clean planets, share the planets, heal the planets, heal the celestial bodies, which is what they all are, celestial bodies. We call them planets, but they're celestial bodies. Build positive structures on the planets with our positive mentalities and our spiritual mentalities as one planet and as oneness. Alright, so I don't want to talk about that anymore. That's just the fun stuff. I mean, I could go on and on and on about all the good things that good people would do. All the good things that good people do with quadrillions of dollars. All the good things that good people would do, since there's only good in the world and no evil. But, all the good things that would go on, that's just a smidgen of all the good things that people would be doing and be taking part in and would be advocating for. It's Renaissance, it's higher vibration, it's golden age, it's love, it's just straight old, plain old, basic connection with immortality and with life and with love and with all of creation and with the future and with what we create and what we love. See, and the thing is, I uniquely... Oh, dude, I'm so tired. No one is better than anyone else. No one is worse than anyone else. No one is above anyone else. No one is below anyone else. No one is above anyone else. No one is below anyone else. There's no duality. Duality doesn't exist. Lord Bowen knows about that. Divine magic. It's probably been so many days since the Lord Merlin school, for example. Just higher dimensional schools, higher dimensional realities, such as my higher dimensional reality school, which had 3 years, 30 years for some reason. But, I'm happy about it. But magic schools and mental art form schools, mental mastery schools, telekinesis schools, psionic schools, energy schools, quantum energy schools, human aura schools, intergalactic study schools, schools about the galaxy, schools about planetary customs in other galaxies and the rest of the galaxy, learning about different sectors, learning about different spaceships, learning about different lifestyles, learning about different stuff, dude, just learning. Learning about all the stuff we didn't know before. Learning about life extension technology, learning about life force, energy, food, learning about the human auric field, learning about frequency generation and how it heals the body and eliminates disease, learning about just the brilliance of the heart that we can connect with and cherish more, learning about the joy of connecting to the inner being of all beings, of all that is, learning about the mental oneness of the one mind, because there is one mind, learning about the different forms of love and forms of connections that we have with other beings, learning about how we can bond and become stronger with who we are as individuals, learning about how we can be a part of creation as creators, learning about how we're actually creative beings in this experience where we want to experience all of creation, learning about how we can become a part of all that is with the love that we share uniquely, learning about how we're all facets of God's love and that we wish to experience ourselves as God's love, learning about the infinite, unlimited amount of energy that comes from our bodies, that comes from our beings, that comes from this divine blueprint, learning about the whole energy that emanates from the body and the DNA, 12-strand DNA, learning about the Merkaba and the Merkana, learning about the higher dimensional realities, learning about the 48 to 56, I think it was, dimension, 56th dimension to 96th dimension, 96th dimension to 104th dimension. Learning about how we can heal ourselves with our own spiritual abilities. Learning about how we can actually resurrect people's bodies with our own inner abilities. Learning about how we can actually fly and levitate. Learning about how we can actually, not not need to eat or need to drink water. Learning about how we can teleport, how we can change size and become extremely large or incredibly small. And how we don't need technology to do that. Learning about how we can be in a meditative state where we don't feel extreme heat, or feel extreme cold, or be bothered by it. Learning about how we can develop our own telepathy and our own learning systems. Learning about how we can learn from those who are entering the new light, who are the new light, and who come into the world remembering, knowing everything, and remembering everything they already knew when they were born. Learning about the connection and the relationship between the youngins and how there's rainbow children and crystal children. Learning about the inner energies that everybody embodies and everybody integrates the higher energy. Learning about the development of people being born with 3 and 4 strand DNA and 5 strand DNA. Learning about how we all have 12 strand DNA. Learning about how we have all this energy emanating from us that is just, I don't know how much energy, but I'll just say it's like a billion suns. Learning about how we're connected with love and with all that is. Learning about our own inner psionic abilities, our inner love abilities, and learning about the 5th dimension, learning about the higher dimensions, learning about solar consciousness, learning about advanced galactic consciousness, learning about extraterrestrial consciousness is the same thing. Learning about consciousness. Oh, I'm so tired. Integrating love, higher dimensional unions, learning about the fairies, learning about the dragons, learning about the beings that live in the hollow earth, learning about civilizations, learning about all types of beings that we thought existed in fairy tales, all the different types of beings that exist in love and exist in merriment and exist in bliss, learning about the gnomes, learning about pixies, learning about elementals, sky, earth, water, fire elementals, learning about talking animals, learning about talking beings, learning about telepathic animals, learning about tame animals, learning about animals that are still in existence, that have been extinct, learning about and meeting new species from other planets, learning different types of insects, learning different types of beings, different types of animals, different types of consciousness, different types of life. And this is all done without any cabal. I mean, this is the world we live in without cabal. There's pure love where we can just communicate with anybody, anywhere, without any restrictions of any across time and space about what we want to experience, the type of love that we want to share, the type of love that we cherish. And I'm being specific, but it's just a general life of just being who we are and interacting with different planets, interacting with different people, different beings, being open-hearted to different beings because of love. Everybody only believes in love, and in the state of love, vibration. I'm so tired. Everyone, people, individuals being involved in their own destiny, people wanting to be involved in multiple destinies and different journeys, and people wanting to be involved in journeys, and I'm just tired. So that was just like all the explanation of like, oh, what would be the good things that would happen with the $17 quadrillion, or $15 quadrillion. And the thing is, like, we should be able to say things and they would manifest in front of us, just in terms of spirituality, but also we should be able to say things and it should just manifest in front of us in terms of technology and speedy technology. So we could, for example, just in terms of fun, we can have drones deliver different types of things to people for free. For example, drones having delivery services for weed products to different households, just to... Actually, that doesn't make any sense. Because why would you need a technology for transportation of an item when we can already communicate telepathically? For example, straight to the devices, instead of communicating to another person telepathically about creating a drone that will put like an order, like a package delivery on a drone, and then the drone would fly to the destination and deliver the goods, and or just teleportation, travel to wherever people want to go, to the different types of food utilizations of making restaurants or making gardens or making restaurant buildings or making restaurant castles or just making a new food drone system that delivers food via drones, or just training advanced beings or advanced animals to transport food to and from different cities or civilizations from different countries. Well, I'm going to take a nap. This is your host, Christopher Michael Curtis Bowen, on this Christopher Bowen Show. I forgot to mention, actually. Austin Young and Eric Kahn, you guys are awesome. Shout out to the love that you guys have. I didn't mean to put you guys on the spot. Just saying that you guys are like the only amazing beings and creators on the planet and in the universe yesterday. So that was, I took it a little too far. We're all unified and in love. We are all in the love consciousness, and we're all a part of all that is, and we all have an important role to play, and we're all very important. Everybody's life is sacred. Life is sacred, and everyone's important. You know, I still want, in a way, only because it's new, but I'm still advocating for Anchorman. We'll just have 3 Anchormen, and we'll just go from there. One of the Anchormen will talk about Fire of Liberty. The other Anchorman will talk about the oyster, and then the other Anchorman will talk about spirit times imagination equals truth to the power of love. However that equation works for the name of that TV show. And then those 3 Anchormen will be kind of leading however they wish. No constrictions or anything. Leading in the blissful way that they, in their own unique way, with those 3 Anchormen in Fire of Liberty, the oyster, and that 3rd TV show. And then I'll continue to be the executive Anchorman for the Christopher Bowen Show. I may have a broadcast tonight, I may not. It's whatever. There's an unlimited amount of fun that I can guarantee. There's an unlimited amount of joy that I can guarantee. Whatever interaction that will occur, I can definitely guarantee bliss and love and fulfillment. So we'll just have those qualities when I have my broadcast tonight. And we'll just have fun for the rest of the day in terms of what the anchorman will participate in and what the anchorman will do. And, the anchorman can just have fun with whatever they want to experience with the rest of humanity, the rest of the collective. And the collective will communicate back, and it'll be a fun time. So I definitely need a nap. I created something called a nap ocean, a notion, yesterday. So I'm going to sink into my notion, my nap ocean, sink into the peace and the serenity of not only just notion itself, but of the love of the emanation that comes from Gaia. And that comes from Cetaceans, and that comes from Sirius B. And that comes from the ocean and the seas and the stillness in the waters and just the vastness of the waters and the blissness that is there. This is your host, Christopher Michael Curtis Bowen, on this morning edition of the Christopher Bowen Show. With lots of love, I love you all.